Good morning you guys, it's Karen and today I am doing, let me check that the microphone's on, yes it is. Today I'm doing an updated skincare routine. It's not changed that much, I did one 6 years ago. So it will probably be called the same thing, my skincare routine at 48 years old. I don't turn 49 until June, but there's a few little things that I've changed and I'm using some different products, but the basis remains the same. So firstly, let me tell you how I go about making a new routine. If I decide I want to change my skincare routine, how I do it. I have a skincare kind of package, if you like, a package of pre-made documents that I have created on Etsy. I did that because I didn't know how to put it on somewhere shared. I think I might be able to do it on a Google OneDrive, but I don't know whether I'll have time to do that. What I'll do is I'll link to all of the documents in my Etsy page. It's about £3, something like that. It doesn't even cover the fees that I have to pay, to be honest with you. But if I can figure out how to put it on a Google Drive, then I'll link that instead. But this is the main one that I use, and it just says, what's your concern? And then what is the potential product solution? So I fill in down here what my skincare concerns are, and then in the potential product solution I put what kind of ingredient or what kind of product I want to address that with. Then there's another sheet I have where I write down the products and if there's any conditions of those products. So like with, let me think, just something that might be, don't mix this with this, you know, you don't want to use this with an acid, you want to use this one in the morning. And then I've got another sheet where I put it all in and go, okay, I'm going to use that in the morning, that in the evening. I think my routine used to be much more complicated, and that's why I needed all of the sheets, because it used to be I'll do this on day 1, this on day 2, this on day 3, and whereas I'm not using tretinoin all over my face now, I don't really need to do, I'm using the same thing most days. So let me tell you what my concerns are, and then I'll just put in the footage of me doing my morning routine and then my evening routine. So my concerns are hooded crepey lids. My eyelids don't always look as hooded when I am animated and talking, but as soon as I relax, you can see that they're hooded. You can probably see there with the eyelashes, you know, suddenly you can't see my eyes anymore. They're definitely hooded and the skin is quite crepey. I feel like they've looked a little bit better lately, and I need to take some pictures and see if it is down to my eyelash serum. I was intending on doing a video about eyelash serums and synthetic prostaglandins serums, because they can potentially make your eyes worse and potentially make them better if you have aging eyes, and so I need to do a video on that. But yeah, the texture of my eyes is, the skin is crepey and they are hooded, so that's one concern. Crow's feet is another. They're probably more than crow's feet, they're full on wrinkles now under my eyes. Neck texture, so I just mean that this bit in here doesn't seem to matter what I do. Sometimes I feel like it's gone and I'm like, oh, I haven't, you know, seen it for a week or so, it's looked really hydrated, and then all of a sudden I'll look in the mirror and go, oh yeah, it looks all, again, it looks crepey, you know. The lines are just hereditary, but I think they can probably be improved. Hydration, it's not a concern, but my concern would be having dehydrated skin, and my skin feels tight if I don't hydrate it enough, so I need to make sure hydration is in my routine. Protection from the sun, that's a concern, so I need to make sure I've got sunscreen. And I've put support as a concern. What I mean by that is there are some products I use that I'm just using because I think that they're good for my skin. So for example, niacinamide, I think it's good for just your skin strength, and it also supports using tretinoin and, you know, things like that. I think of that as a support kind of product. So for my hooded crepey lids, I've put that I'm going to use tretinoin, so I'm currently using that just on one eye. I just want to do another little experiment, if you like. You guys know I have dabbled with tretinoin, I have dabbled with retinol for years and years, and I've done everything kind of. The eyelid experiment, I did it where I was using 0.1 twice a day. I've also used it on my face, but done it really, really slowly at a low strength and built up very slowly. I've tried retinol in all sorts of strengths. So I've tried a lot, but I'm going to try tretinoin for 6 months to a year, using it every other day. I might up it if, I mean, my skin is really tolerating it well, but that's what I'm using at the moment. So I've put tretinoin and see how that works on my hooded crepey lids. Peptides as well. When I use my peptides, I am gonna put them over my eyelids. And I've also said Bakuchiol. No, actually Bakuchiol's wrong. I was going to say Bakuchiol there, but actually I don't put Bakuchiol on my eyes. I don't have, well, I have one serum that I could put on my eyes, so I might well do that, but at the moment it's just Peptides and Tretinoin. So we'll see the difference between these two eyes, and actually this one is worse, and so in 6 months to a year, if this one kind of looks the same as this one, then it has helped, but then this one might get worse, I suppose. I don't know, it'll be interesting to see what happens. For crow's feet, I am using Peptides because I use Peptides all over my face and all over my eyes and down my neck. So Peptides and Niacin together, and I'm also using Bakuchiol, so after my Peptides and Niacin, I will use Bakuchiol on my face and kind of up to and around my crow's feet area. For my neck texture, again, Peptides and Bakuchiol, same kind of thing for the texture on my neck and the crow's feet, that combination of Peptides, Niacin and Bakuchiol. For hydration, I'm using Peptides. Peptides are kind of like hyaluronic acid. They do draw moisture to the skin, and I actually find Peptides do that for me better than hyaluronic acid, and so it works better for me to use Peptides because there's, you know, potentially other benefits from them as well. And also my night cream, you know, I will use a night cream and an oil if need be before or after my night cream if my skin was feeling really dry. Sunscreen, obviously I'll use an SPF. I normally use at least a 30 during the winter, and then I'll sort of mix either an SPF 30. As long as it's an SPF 30, I'm fine in the summer because I'm never really in the sun. If I was going to be, like if we were going for a picnic, I would probably, I mean, to be honest, we'd sit in the shade, but I would probably want to put on an SPF 40 or above, you know. In the category of support, I've put vitamin C and niacinamide because the niacinamide I'm using because I feel like it's a supportive product, you know, it's something that supports your skin, the integrity of your skin, and it helps if you're using tretinoin and retinol products, and one of the Bakuchiol products I'm using actually has retinol in it, and so I just think it's a good all-round product to use for skin health without addressing specific issues. I know it's supposed to be good for pores, but it doesn't work for me, but I like to use that. Vitamin C is something that is not essential for me to have in my routine, but I do like ethylated vitamin C. My favourite one is by Hylamide, and so I will occasionally order that and use that in my routine, normally in the morning before putting my sunscreen on. I think somebody might be sending me an ethylated ascorbic acid, so that'd be interesting. But yeah, that's something that I'll use if I'm trying products or, you know, just fancied using it. So that's how I decide what to use. So like I said, I'll try and make these documents available to you if I can. Well, I know I can on Etsy, but I don't even know if the advert is live or the sale is live, if you like. So I'll try and figure that out before I put this video up. But what I'll do now is put in video of me doing my morning routine and then a video of me doing my evening routine. Good morning. I'm very tired today, so I'm looking forward to putting this on my eyes because it always kind of wakes up my eyes. So this is my Belei No Rinse Micellar Water for normal skin. It's the Amazon one, and I'm using my reusable pads that I like. I did show these in another video and link to them, but I'll make sure I link to them in this one because they're really nice, these ones. I wish I could get them in a white, but this material doesn't seem to be available in the white. Oh, that just feels so nice. I was thinking if I could find a toner that didn't have fragrance or alcohol in it and that wasn't, you know, an acid toner, I would probably just use that instead. It doesn't have to be micellar water is my point, because it's not like I cleanse with micellar water. I suppose I am a bit, I'm taking off any overnight residue on I, but mostly just freshening up my face and eyes. So that's that done. I've washed my hands, and this morning I would normally be using an ethylated vitamin C at this stage, and I did buy the vitamin C capsules from No7. They're in a little pot like this, but I also bought these. There was an offer on at No7, which are hyaluronic acid and camellia oil capsules. The vitamin C I'll be talking about in a video, but basically my skin doesn't like it, the same as it doesn't like the vitamin C 23% from The Ordinary, so I'm just using these. So hyaluronic acid and camellia seed oil, and I think it's lovely, really lovely, so just squeeze it out. Not that much on. And I don't always use something in the morning, you know, it's just I've got these and they're not I've got other things I'm using in my evening routine, so I thought why not use this. Any extra hydration and oil that your skin can get is not a bad thing, and they feel absolutely lovely. I'm going to use the other one on my neck. Actually, it's not that often I don't use anything, because if I don't have a vitamin C, then I would normally just use the peptide underneath everything. This is the SPF I'm using at the moment, using and testing. It's the Ombre Solaire by Garnier Anti-Dark Spot and Anti-Pollution Super UV 50+. So again, I will be reviewing this soon, but so far so good. It's a real liquid one, but it's non-greasy. Feels really nice. Great base under makeup. So far so good. And I always make sure that I can put the sunscreens over my eyes and they don't sting. So I know a lot of people have an issue with that. There we go, that's me done. Well, I'm going to put it on my neck, but that is my face done. Okay, you guys, so it is time for my evening skincare routine, and I have already removed my makeup. I didn't have very much makeup on. I removed it, did I do it in the shower? No, I think I did it with the Garnier Oil and Water cleanser. Then I went over with micellar water. I used the Yes to Cucumbers micellar water with a reusable cotton pad. And then finally, I just went over my face, not my neck, with the Versed Brightening toner. So it's an acid toner, and I left it then for, it's been about 15-20 minutes, something like that. My skin doesn't feel tight at all, which is great. I completely forgot I was supposed to be filming it, but I have already showed you me using my reusable cotton pad. You just, it's 3 pumps and over my face. I don't do that on my neck because I'm discovering how sensitive my neck is, and I used it once on my neck and it did come up irritated the following day. So I have been able to use lactic acid on my neck, but yeah, this acid combination doesn't seem to have worked very well for it. The other thing it could be, it might not actually be the acid combination, it might be something else that I'm going to show you I'm using on my neck that does have fragrance in it. So the first thing I'm going to do is put the tiniest amount of tretinoin on my eyes. So, well, my eye, I'm trying to use it on the right one just to compare, and because the right one is the worst. So I've got my Obagi Tretinoin. I literally need the tiniest little bit. That's how much I use. I'll try and get that to focus for you. So that's how much I'm using. You just need the tiniest amount. That might even be a little bit too much, but put that up there and there. That's all I do. So I just rub that in over the top of my eyebrow and underneath. And I have actually barely had any peeling of my skin. I've had no irritation, it's not sore, it doesn't sting when anything goes on, it's all absolutely fine, and I'm using it currently every other day. So I've done that. I sometimes do this after the next step, which is my peptide with niacin mixed in. So the peptide I'm using at the moment is the Hylamide Sub-Q Skin. I think this one is my favourite. And then in here is actually, it's just a little squeezy bottle I bought from Boots that I had sitting there, and I wanted to try and find something smaller than the great big jar of niacinamide powder that you get from The Ordinary. I don't know that I've necessarily achieved it because, you know, it's maybe a bit thinner. Anyway, I need to find something that fits. If I'm not going to put it in this, I need to find something that fits the spoon into it to be able to get a little bit out, you know, so I don't know what the best container is. Anyway, I've got the remainder of my other jar, this is a new jar here, in here, and so all I do is I undo that and I just tip it up once, and then I get about that amount, which I would say is probably 1/4 teaspoon, but it's not 100% exact. That's the only downside of the powder. So then I just take a full dropper's worth of peptide, rub my hands together, and that goes all over my face and eyes and neck. And it doesn't sting, this doesn't cause me any irritation whatsoever. It feels really nice. This Sub-Q Skin is definitely my favourite. You know, over and above the buffet, I've tried the buffet with copper. this is definitely my favourite, or one of my favourites, because I do actually like the Matrixyl as well. The Matrixyl feels lovely. I'll probably buy the Matrixyl next. So that's that, and I sometimes do that step before this, just because the cream, the tretinoin cream, is actually thicker. And obviously you're supposed to start with thinner and then go to thicker. The next thing I do is the Bakuchiol step. Now, the one I'm using at the moment is the Paulas Choice. So this is the 0.3% retinol plus 2% Bakuchiol treatment. I have actually got, well, this one I think is a 4% that I'm going to use on my neck, but I explain why I'm not using it on my face at the moment. I've got the Handmade Heroes, which is, I think, is that 4% as well? I can't remember, but I've ordered the Herbivore one, which I thought had fragrance in, but I don't know if they've changed their ingredients or I just got it wrong, but I'm getting that, and that's 4%. So I'm going to be using Bakuchiol somehow in my routine, but at the moment this is the one I'm using. So I use 3 pumps of this, and I just use this on my face. And I have to say I do like it, but I don't like that it's got retinol in. The next one I will be using when this runs out, and this feels like it's lasted me a long time. I don't put this on my eyes, you know, I go as far as there, that's it. I try to stay away from my lips, you know, I don't want to go too close up to my lips, so I just go like around my nose there, because, you know, retinol travels and it does make my skin irritated and dry. And I would say that the retinol, even though it's only 0.3% in this, it just does bother me. I find that if I use anything slightly out of the ordinary, if I used too much acid toner, for example, or if I used anything that had a bit of fragrance in directly on top of this, no, not if I used anything with fragrance in. What else have I noticed? I've just noticed when I'm using things, my skin is definitely sensitive, and that's retinol. You know me, I don't want to use retinol. The Versed one that I'm going to use after this does have retinol in it, but it's encapsulated retinol. It doesn't tell you how much, so I think it will be lower than 0.3%, but it also has Bakuchiol in it. I'm just enjoying experimenting with kind of stronger Bakuchiol products. So once I've done that on my face, that's me put my Bakuchiol on my face. I then want to put Bakuchiol on my neck. The reason I'm not putting that one on is because it has retinol in it, and I will not put retinol near my neck. My face can just about handle it, but my neck, no way. So I ordered this. This is the Trilogy Bakuchiol Plus Booster Treatment. I'm pretty sure this is 4%. It's a high percentage. It's a lovely oil, but I didn't notice that it has lavender in it. It's very strong, and I can't believe they put perfume in it. As soon as I found that out, I was just so disappointed. So I'm not going to use this on my face. Weirdly, my neck actually seems to be, well, not weirdly, I was going to say it seems to be tolerant of fragrance, but I suppose I don't know the damage it's doing. That's the point I'm always making. It's like tobacco, you can't actually see a lot of the damage that fragrance does. But there's two sides, isn't there? There's the unseen damage, but there's also the reaction of your skin to fragrance. My skin didn't used to break out with fragrance or react to fragrance at all, but I think since not using fragrances in skincare, it's become more sensitive to fragrance, which I can see how that would happen. And also I use more actives now. So I thought, you know what, I'm not going to just not use this because it wasn't a cheap product. So I'm going to use it on my neck because I feel like nothing happens to my neck. So I've used probably about a dropper's worth on that, and I'm putting this on my neck, and it's a small little bottle as well, you know, so I'm just going to use it up, but this will not be a repurchase. Before I bought this, I was using the Handmade Heroes oil, and I think it's really nice to use a Bakuchiol in oil on my neck as well, whereas I prefer on my face to not use an oil all the time. Sometimes I feel like using an oil, but I don't want to use one all the time, so I just rub that into my neck. And then whatever I've got left, I always put on the back of my hands from anything I use. And then after that, I'm just going to use a little bit of my eye mask, the Versed eye mask. So I really should wipe that fragrance off. I will do that just now. I normally do it because I've normally got a cotton wool pad with micellar water on beside me, you know. So I do it with my little finger. I just take about like that. And I go under my eyes like that, and then on my eyes. I need a little bit more actually. And I'm putting this on really, really thickly. and it's great because I'm putting it on where I'm putting on my Tretinoin. Do the same on the other eye. And I just leave that on. I don't take that off, even though it is an eye mask. The final step then would be my night cream. I'm currently using this up. This is something that I love. It's the Garnier Organic Nourishing Moisturiser. It does have fragrance in it. I don't mind using it up on my skin because I'm putting it on top of a few other things, and my skin is certainly not breaking out. It's a light fragrance. It's not essential oils. My skin reacts worse to things like lavender. Essential oils, my skin definitely freaks out at and becomes more sensitive, but this is more of a synthetic and very light fragrance, and it's quite far down the list. And just whatever's left goes onto my neck on top of that oil to kind of seal it in, you know. And that is me done for the evening. Usually at this point I would put on my eyelash serum. I don't have one specific one that I use. I bought Lilash to test it again, and I just ran out last week. And it's definitely worth getting. It definitely works for me. I've tried quite a few, and Lilash is the best, but it's nothing's ever worked for me as well as it did when I first started it, which was probably 10 plus years ago, you know. So I'm not currently using anything, and I'm just going to see how they go over the next little while without using it. And actually I had a very specific reason for using the Lilash that wasn't just about eyelashes, it was about hooded eyes, but I'll tell you about that when I do the video. So that's my evening skincare routine done. Okay, so that is my updated skincare routine. The differences, I was just having a look at my other video, the differences between that video and now, there really isn't very much, because I was using the Hylamide Sub-Q and the Buffet Serum. I was using the niacinamide powder. I can't remember if I was using it in the Buffet Serum or not, probably. I was using micellar water. I've got the Ordinary Natural Moisturising Factors I was using, and the Inkey List Squalane. Both of those are things I would use as a night cream. You know, the night cream I use will be the Ordinary Natural Moisturising Factors or the Versed Dew formula that I love. I think the biggest difference now is I'm not as consistent with using, what's the word I'm thinking of? Gadgets. So then I was using the Foreo Bare, the Current Body LED neck mask and face mask, and I was probably sitting in front of my care lamp as well. That kind of dropped off mostly because of my migraines. I'm still struggling to get on top of my migraines, and so things need to be a lot more simplified for me now. And you know, putting lights in my eyes and trying to strap things onto my head is just wasn't a priority, you know. But I did, I don't know, about 4 weeks ago, I did have a sudden spurt, if you like, and go, no, I'm going to start using these again. And I put my Current Body face mask and neck mask back on every day, and I was also sitting in front of my care lamp because I do enjoy all of them for different reasons. The face and neck mask are just so easy to wear as you're walking around, and then the care lamp, I always feel like it sort of really perks up my skin immediately. And I can't deny that I see results from LED, you know, so if I could stick to it, that would be great. So I know a lot of you are saying, have you had any more results? I did do a 4-month update video, so I'll link that for you, but I'm just not using it consistently enough at the moment. But that is something that I would use, like after I'd taken my makeup off and run over my face with the micellar water, I then got, it's in here, I know it is, I got a little sample bottle of the, is it called Isntree green tea fresh toner, and I was using that and then putting my LED masks on. The Foreo Bare, I think I've told you before, I stopped using that because I didn't enjoy using it. I felt like it was too big for my eye area, and I know you can get ones for the eye area, but it's just it's too labor intensive for me. I know that sounds really lazy perhaps, but I just know that I won't be bothered doing something like that every day unless I enjoy it, you know. And I didn't enjoy using the Foreo Bare. I did see results from it, but I was also worried about the whole microcurrent. You know, I've got a whole heart thing going on, so I'd heard some horror stories. I hadn't had a chance and haven't had a chance to look into it properly, but it just wasn't for me. But it's not to say that it doesn't work. And what was the other thing? Radio frequency devices. Well, I've got the one is it called, no, not Nearer, that was the laser one. The Nearer laser, I saw no difference at all. Can't remember if I did a video, but I just didn't see any results from it, because that one was really easy and quick to use. And the radio frequency device, there was either this great big humongous one I'd got from Amazon that was just too much to use and got too hot, or there was that tiny little one, I can't remember the name of it, but it was a handheld one that I really liked, but it kept cutting out. And so radio frequency is something I'd probably try in the future, and I'd maybe even try a microcurrency device if there was something that was maybe quicker, or I was going to say something you could leave on, but I just don't see how that's possible. So I'm not really using any gadgets consistently, but what I am using is my LED now and again, because I have seen results from them. That's everything for today. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this was useful to you. I will list all of my makeup in the description, and I'll speak to you again soon.